Hello and welcome to today's Monday Meetup. Today we're talking about a new beginning and being thankful for having each other. We talk about top running tips for beginners and what we've gathered from over 800 Facebook comments from our posts. We talk about the brand new RaceMob homepage and some of the offerings that we have for runners just like you. We talk about some of the upcoming virtual events, including the Run Local San Jose event series and the Taji 100. We go into some added detail on some of our recent podcasts, including with local legend Jake McCluskey and with biomechanical expert Jay Ridgeway. Plus, your weekly workout. Hit our subscribe button and the bell notifications so you'll get notified when new videos go live. Good morning, Bertrand. So happy to have you back on another Monday Meetup, buddy. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing great. I'm doing great, man. It's Monday, and it's so much to talk about and so much to be excited for since our last conversation. Funny how.
Absolutely. I think you could sense last week I was a little had a little trepidation in me, a little bit nervous, a little anxious and whatnot, and feeling full of hope, feeling inspired this week. Can't wait to kick this stuff off with another Monday meetup, and so thankful to have you in my life and be able to just chat with you again on another Monday.
We're embracing change on many levels, and how that change is going to transition in 2021. We talked about it in part on our last conversation with our Race Mob family, and here we are on the 9th of November, and we're all feeling a little different, but the general sense of optimism and sense of hope. And how as we take that momentum and move it forward from a fitness perspective, again, from a social perspective, just good things on the future. It's been a challenging 2020, as we all know very clearly. But when you're challenged and we deal with adversity, it builds character. It makes you appreciate the little things where you don't take things for granted. And hopefully it's going to bring us even closer as we move into the coming year. And we reflect on 2020 and the lives that have been lost because of the pandemic, the people who've had to suffer on many reasons because of the a tough economy. And we talk about community, and community in its nature, you envision closeness and togetherness. Through this pandemic, it's discouraged us from being close physically, and being thankful. Thanksgiving's on the horizon. Again, sense of family and community and fellowship. And I'm thankful for our partnership, our friendship. And I'm thankful for all of our Race Mob family that is growing. And yeah, man, I'm just excited and optimistic. Really am.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, yeah, as you mentioned, a number of things to get to today. So, pulling back behind the scenes, last week we just launched our Race Mob Running Fundamentals course. So this is the course that helps people get to their first 5K. And we've been working pretty hard behind the scenes. One of the things that we've done is ask our running community, both the Too Legit community as well as a couple of other communities that we're part of, what are those tips that you would get to a beginner runner, especially looking back at the time that you spent. What are those tips that you wish you could go back in time and tell yourself when you started? We got over, I think, 800 comments throughout
Wow.
those
Great.
different channels. Yeah, over 500 kind of votes or suggestions. I went back through, I categorized, I bucketed them into different categories, and we have basically 17 tips for new runners. And we're going to do a countdown of those 17 tips. We'll be publishing those on YouTube, hopefully later this week, as well as our podcast as a separate episode. Because as you and I both chatted before, we want to be able to have some of these episodes and give some of these tips to our listeners on the podcast. So
Absolutely.
17 tips for new runners. Fantastic tips, and I think they're really insightful too in terms of like what people concentrate on, what people focus on, maybe even things that are maybe missing or lacking within the running community in general, that people aren't aware about. So definitely listen through the tips. great stories too. That's what I love too, is like every time somebody gives you a tip, about strength training, it's sometimes related to an injury that they had, or something that they experienced or went through. And so loved kind of digging into people's tips, but then digging into their stories as well and what makes them tick. And I think it's fantastic stuff. So fantastic stuff. So definitely check out those tips when we launch them later this week. Other things behind the scenes, we've refreshed the RaceMob homepage. So a lot of hard work going into it. There's a new video from Coach B where you get to meet him. We are introducing our memberships and training programs. And so I think what really sets us apart from, a lot of other places is rather than just an off-the-shelf training plan, you get to get a personalized training plan from Coach B himself. He's going to sit down with you one-on-one, figure out what your goals are, what your current fitness level is, what your schedule is, if you have anything that you're working towards, and be able to create a custom training plan just for you. And we're not just talking about running. I mean, we've added strength training in there. We're adding, other fitness activities in there as well. And, obviously rest, recovery, stretching, foam rolling. There's so much that goes into having a healthier you in 2021. So reach out to us, find that page. We've got all sorts of different training plans in there. And we've got a free one too. So if you want to just come join RaceMob for free, get your free training plan, you still get to meet up with Coach B and chat with them, and we'll be able to put together a free training plan for you. So just come check it out, racemob.com. racemob.com/membership if you've already got an account or you're looking for that new homepage, and come sign up, come meet up with us.
We got you. Coming over, let's have some fun. Let's get it.
Absolutely. Other things that we're working on right now. One of our most popular videos from the last quarter was top 10 virtual runs. And so what we want to do with your guys' help is put together another list of the top virtual runs here in the winter. So definitely need you guys' help to try to figure out which runs you guys are excited for coming up. We know that there's a lot of turkey trots coming up. There's still a lot of virtual challenges that are going on here through the winter time. And so comment down below. Let us know what virtual runs you guys are excited for coming up. Awesome. And with that, we also want to give a shout out to Run Local, which just launched some of their races that are happening here in the springtime. I know, Bertrand, you've been a Run Local ambassador for a number of years. So, talk to us about what they've got planned up and the virtual races and challenges that they've got planned up this spring.
Yeah, thank you. Run Local is doing it right, man. They're doing it real. They're doing it big in 2021. They're kicking off their San Jose race series with a 24-hour special for 3 races, $25 each. It's a great bargain. If you sign up for all 3 races, I believe you get a bonus medal as well. Go to runlocalevents.com or Run Local. We'll have the URL here in the notes below. And the 408K, the Shamrock Run, and the Silicon Valley Half Marathon, those are 3 dynamic community-based events that are family-friendly and great opportunities to put on your personal calendar and to plan for and train for. And we can help you with that. Again, as Kevin mentioned, we have free training programs, 30 days kind of starter kits, and we can work with you and customize something that works best for you at your fitness level. But again, back out to Run Local and their team. They're doing fantastic work, community focused, family focused, great value, and a great way to kick off your 2021.
Yeah. Can't echo that more. I think you and I first met at a Run Local event back in 2013.
Yep.
408K runs right by my house when it's running live, ends right at Santana Row, which is about a mile from my house. And they just put on such fantastic events. We've known JT and Scott and David and the whole Run Local crew. We've known them for years and years and years, almost a decade now for me,
Yeah,
knowing that
yeah.
team. And they just put on such fantastic events. So if you're looking for a challenge, all of those events here in the spring are going to be virtual events. But they just have such a great community, even though they're virtual, even though you won't be there physically. You know, they just have such a great online presence. They're so great at storytelling, at really making that virtual event come to life. So and you can't beat the sale that's going on right now, 24-hour sale. So just get in there. They always have fantastic designs, fantastic gear, amazing swag. So go ahead and get in there. Just got to give a shout out to Run Local. It's
Yeah,
happening right now.
good stuff.
Awesome. And there have been a number of group runs, a number of other things that have kind of been on the map, especially with the Two Legit crew. So we want to give a couple of shout outs to Two Legit folks and people that are out there running. And we want to tell you guys, if you want to get shout out here on our Monday meetups, just tag RaceMob. Tag us on Instagram, tag us on Facebook, just at RaceMob. We'd love to know what you guys are up to. And we want to celebrate with you. So just tag us and let us know what's happening, and we'll get your photos right up here on Monday Meetup. So tell us about, some of the awesome stuff that people have been up to recently.
Yeah, I mean, for some this time of the year, we know it gets a little colder, some cases a little wetter. But having a running crew, a running tribe, is something that helps keep us accountable. And a lot of team members are now training for the virtual California International Marathon, which was originally scheduled to take place on Sunday, December 6th, I believe, 5th or 6th. And now that people are training for it virtually, their virtual run series has a training breakdown of a 8-mile run, 10-mile run, 12-mile run, 14 miles, 16 miles, 18 miles, and 20 miles. This past weekend, Saturday and Sunday, team members knocked out the 16-mile segment and 16, 18, and 20-mile segments. So shout out to several team members. So many, I can't call them out all by name, but great job, team. Keep putting in the work. And again, it's one thing to get out on your own, which in many cases can be tough to do early in the morning or after a hard day's work. But if you have team members that are out there like-minded with good energy, great fellowship, it just adds to the overall running experience. It makes it fun. You're engaging. It makes those miles go by a lot quicker. So if join a community, join a running community, whether that be the RaceMob community, the extended Two Legit community. There's running tribes all over the place. The Bay Area Run Club. I can go on and on, but when you have a running buddy or running tribe, it just makes the experience so much better and fulfilling.
Yeah. And if you're having trouble finding a run club, just reach out to us. We can make the introduction. We can help you meet other people. There are a lot of running clubs that are still meeting physically, socially distanced. And if you're comfortable and you want to meet up with other clubs, either here in the Bay Area or across the country, just let us know. We know how to find these clubs. We know how to reach out to them. We know how to, figure out where their runs are happening. So feel free to reach out with us. We want to be that hub. We want to be that connector for you. And we want to help you find people that are going to keep you motivated, keep you out there, outdoors, and would love to be that service and help you guys out as well. All right. Want to give a shout out to new members, especially to Kathy Wright from Greenville, South Carolina. Kathy just joined the RaceMob community not too long ago. She's a registered nurse. And she's been on the front line of urgent care. So she's actually been helping out with so many who have been exposed to COVID and dedicating her time and really helping us fight the disease and helping people through that disease. So want to give a shout out to her. She's 63 and her goal is to someday be able to run a marathon, which is fantastic. Fantastic.
Yes.
So shout out to
We got you.
Kathy. We got you. We absolutely have you. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing for us, our country, our nation, for our people. And just want to say thank you to you. Also want to give a shout out to birthdays. So we have a number of fantastic birthdays out there. Coach, do you want to? I know we have Sylvia. We have Verity, who is a podcast guest out here. Ghazali, who's an athlete that you're coaching, who is seeing fantastic results here already in the first couple of months. Barbara, who I see every Hammer Time, fantastic ball of energy, who we've given a shout out to not too long ago. Fantastic long distance runner. Couple of
And
others. Mark,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, we can go. I mean, November is a month. I mean, look at that birthday list, man.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
fantastic. Some wonderful individuals we're looking to celebrate. So, happy birthday, happy running, and let's enjoy the month of November. A November to remember.
Well, you have some family members too, right?
Yes, I
Duh.
do. Boy,
I'm not gonna
thank you
let you
for
forget
saving.
that.
Thanks for saving my tail, man. So yesterday was my brother Marcus's birthday. Happy birthday, little bro. And on Veterans Day, the 11th, my mother's birthday,
Wow.
Edna Allen. So yeah, it's a great month, man. It's a great month for many reasons. Very personal, with family and some great friends as well. So again,
Fantastic. Happy
November
birthday.
to remember. Yes, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, folks. Happy birthday. And I guess we haven't yet mentioned a couple of the podcasts. I know we didn't have Monday Meetup last week. So, we've had some fantastic podcasts
Ooh, for
recently,
sure.
especially for new runners, but also for veteran runners. I think you'll take a lot from the last 2 weeks. We had Jake McCluskey on the podcast 2 weeks ago. Jake, who had lost close to 200 pounds, 180 pounds, and is just a running legend.
Man, yeah,
Right?
for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I, speechless. I mean, I always have something to say. Always. But that dude, there's just no words other than remarkable. And we're very grateful. And check out the pod. Listen to the pod. If you're looking for some motivation, if you find yourself stuck on the couch, dealing with depression, trying to find a way out of your own head, looking at the best way to take that very first step, listen to Jake's podcast. It will get you moving. It will get you fired up and will help you find your why. Guaranteed. Fantastic.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think it also touches on a couple of things that we'll touch on with our top tips for beginners, right? I think one of the top tips for beginners is just don't compare. Don't compare yourself with other people. And I think it's a lesson that a lot of us kind of learn the hard way, and that's why we want to pass it on to others. Jake, he started running at 3 o'clock in the morning because he was embarrassed, and he was embarrassed, which is crazy, right? And he told us, we went down there to J-Town, to Japantown, which Jake Town as well, right? We went down there, and he told us the story about his very first run. He was about 380 pounds, and he was running at 3:30 in the morning, and somebody across the street told him, "You got this. You got this." And he still remembers it so vividly to this day. The amount of energy, the amount of motivation that just those 3 words gave to him on that very first run. And so I just think it's so incredible how encouraging people can be, and how much those little moments of encouragement can mean to people on their fitness journey. And so we just encourage you to listen to the podcast, because to me, it also gave me a tremendous amount of motivation. And here's a guy who, not only lost a ton of weight, but then has been paying it forward so many times, paying it forward, raising money for foster kids with these incredibly long distance runs. He's the first person to run every street in San Jose, and the incredible journey and how how he was able to do that without a car. So he's literally like biking or running to the start line. I mean, basically making it his job. But here's a man on a mission, able to do so much, and then paying it forward as a coach. And so, want to give a shout out to Jake McCluskey. Fantastic podcast episode, and also wanted to give it a shout out to Jay Ridgeway, our other podcast guest from this last week. Talking about running form, right? And running form is definitely one of those top tips for beginners that we have, is focusing on running form. And especially if you can focus on it early on, then you don't have to change it up later on. But the funny thing is when we put it out there to the audience, to the Facebook groups, it was actually fairly low on the list. And I think that's because many runners don't ever have a running coach, right? I've been running for a decade, for 10 years here, and Jay was actually the first one to analyze my running form, and he did it just a couple of months ago, right? So I've been doing all this running. I never had my running form analyzed, and as Jay would put it, I have a lot of room for improvement. So he sees tremendous potential in me, I think is how he put it. So which means that I got a lot to work on, is basically what that means. So, I've been running for 10 years. I've got a lot to work on, which means that, a lot of efficiency that I can gain through working and developing my running form. And so listen to that podcast because there's great tidbits. There's great nuggets for beginners, how you should focus and how you should run and what you should, concentrate on, and even drills, as well as for us longtime runners who have been doing it for a long time but have not had that running coach to help us focus on biomechanics. And great podcast episode. So I encourage you all to listen to those two podcast episodes which we've had. We have some really great ones coming up as well. So excited for those.
Yep. And speaking of podcast coming up, what's happening on Veterans Day, the 11th? Taji 100.
Right.
Registration is opening up, and our next podcast guest, chairman of the Taji 100, Paul Fukama. We recorded that podcast. Fantastic. You're in for a real treat. And for those of you who have never experienced the Taji 100, it's a 28-day virtual challenge, 100 miles in the month of February, benefiting our nation's heroes and parent charity, Team RWB. Fantastic swag, but the mission itself is compelling. It's honorable. You're paying it forward. It's more than about self. And we'll have more information on it in the coming days. So keep an eye out on our Instagram pages and other social media channels.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, the first time you and I actually met, it wasn't so much about Too Legit. It was about Taji 100. And, you were mission driven to get the word out to so many people. And you've done such an amazing job of getting the word out. And it's such a great event. I mean, if you've never done Taji 100, running 100 miles in the shortest month of the year really challenges you to get out there, get moving, get active. And I think that's one of the missions of Taji, is to really just promote health and wellness. And if you've never been on a walking/running challenge before, it motivates you beyond anything else, and especially the mission of Taji 100 motivates you beyond anything else, and so fantastic. So can't say enough good things about it. 11/11 sounds like is the start of registration. We'll have Paul on the podcast this upcoming week. You guys are in for a real treat. So fantastic, cool. And with that, we've got workout of the week. Coach, you want to take us through? I know this is basically at your own pace, but we are getting into tempo-based runs. So an 800 meter at a 5K pace. We've got these 200 meter progressives as well, and 3 rounds of them through. So.
Yeah, it is a challenging workout, but that's what we do. We're looking to push the cardio endurance meter up, and also challenge the ability to, how do you stay focused in a state of fatigue? So when you're running those 800s, 2 laps, and then dipping down each lap for 10 push-ups, and then doing consecutive 200 meters with push-ups as well, there is an early onset of fatigue, the ability to power through and stay mentally focused. And again, staying mindful of your running form, putting one foot in front of the other and just pressing forward. Because in many cases, when you get back to race day, your competitors aren't going to be doing some of these workouts. So it's going to give you a little extra in your fitness bank account that you can withdraw on when you need it the most. So it's a fun workout. It is a challenging workout, but that's what we do here with RaceMob. We put in the work so we can succeed as we want to on race day and chase those milestones, PRs, 1 mile, 5K, 10K, half marathon and beyond. So have fun and let us know what you think about it.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Cool. Well, with that, our question of the day is, what is your top virtual run, virtual challenge here this winter? Let us know in the comments down below if there's anything that you are excited for. I guess it doesn't have to be virtual either. If you are in a part of the country that you're attending a physical race, and you've got something that you're excited about running in and getting out there, let us know. We want to definitely be able to list all of these races and then cheer you on when you cross that finish line. So let us know in the comments down below. Let us know when you take part in those events and send us pictures, send us photos, just tag us here on Instagram. Can't wait to meet all of you, celebrate with you, and get excited with all of you guys. So with that, thank you all for joining us for another Monday Meetup, and we will see you again real soon, guys.